This video is a brief overview of Ed100 Chapter 4, which focuses on the use of time in education. Ed100 is a free certificate program. Visit ed100.org to learn how to become a graduate. Education begins in early childhood. If they have access to high-quality, enriching experiences in early childhood, kids are set up to make the most of what the education system provides. Unfortunately, access is really uneven. Past generations have made it normal to provide public education for 13 years, from kindergarten through high school. Expanding the education system just a little bit to include early learning has been really hard. School provides students with time to interact and learn with prepared adults, especially teachers. Time with teachers is shared, though. When class sizes are larger, teachers have less time per student. California's class sizes are massively larger than other states, and it has a cumulative effect. Lesson 4.2 explains why this matters so much and what teachers do to cope. K-12 students in California generally spend about 6 hours per day in school, 180 days a year. That comes to about 1,000 hours in school per year, roughly similar to most other developed countries. Of course, it matters a lot whether the time is spent well, and that obviously varies a lot. Ed100 Lesson 4.3 digs into research showing that more time on task really does lead to more learning. At the college level, time matters too, in ways that are starting to seem really strange. Course credits are based on something called Carnegie units, which are essentially a measure of time, not learning. Students' time in school is valuable. Literally, you can calculate its value, or at least its cost. Go to Ed100 Chapter 8 and find out the current amount we spend per year per student in California. It goes up over time with inflation, if nothing else. Divide that number by 1,000, and you've got the cost per hour. Why do that? Well, putting a price tag on time can help in conversations about priorities. Is this meeting worth it? Is this program worth what we're putting into it? Programs or events that take students away from the classroom are costly, and there are many proposed ways to make better use of time in school. Lesson 4.4 includes some ideas that are, let's say, worth your time. Learning doesn't actually happen in classes. It happens in the mind of each student individually. But school is organized in groups. When a student falls behind, it can be really hard to catch up. Individual tutoring can make a huge difference, but it's extremely expensive. Lesson 4.5 unpacks some of the methods that schools use to help students that fall behind. The most extreme is repeating a grade, which is called retention. Other interventions include tracking, differentiated instruction, personalized learning, RTI. If there were one amazing model, I would definitely tell you, and there wouldn't be so many acronyms. There are some significant possibilities for AI to make tutoring less expensive and more effective. One of the early pioneers is a nonprofit organization called Khan Academy. Summer vacation is a long-standing tradition. Unfortunately, it's also a great contributor to achievement gaps. Students from families in poverty are less likely to have access to enriching summer experiences, and there's some evidence that they regress in reading skills over the summer. Scarce summer jobs for teens are still another source of gaps. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, white teens tend to be employed at higher rates than non-white teens. For many students, the school day doesn't end when school lets out. Instead, they transition to after-school programs or daycare arrangements. Lesson 4.7 explains how these systems survive. It's a wild mishmash of federal grants, state grants, school district funds, nonprofit programs, fee-for-service. Some programs are great, others not, and research about them is understandably weak. We all knew that it was bad for students to miss school, even before COVID, but the pandemic showed just how much it matters. When kids miss school, learning stops, and there's a huge cascade of bad knock-on effects. Lesson 4.8 focuses on this issue and the way that schools and communities can do something about it. California is different from other states in how it treats school absences. Districts receive funding only based on the students that show up. Learning anything takes time, and classroom time is limited. Good homework assignments give students just the right challenges to practice skills and absorb learning. Unfortunately, many assignments aren't good. The Ed100 blog explains the research and reasoning behind the guidance known as the 10-minute rule. Well, that's it for this quick overview of ed100.org, Chapter 4. For much more, including quizzes, discussion guides, meeting plans, and our blog, visit ed100.org. If you appreciated this video, please like it so others will find it. It really helps.